Waze has had a number of updates since my last video over a year ago. I thought it was time to revisit with another walkthrough taking into account the changes to the app and answer some of the questions from viewers. To set a destination is very straightforward. On opening the app, you'll be presented with a map showing your present location. Below that is a dialog with a magnifying glass. Tap there to enter the business name or address of your destination. Below that is a short list of common destinations preceded by any saved or favourite locations you have, such as your home or work address or other destinations you saved earlier. The other icons include quickly finding the nearest listed gas station, options for restaurants, parking lots and grocery stores. Tapping on More launches into a sub-menu that shows you some of the same options plus more specific destinations such as coffee shops, drive-through restaurants, shopping and more. Tapping on any category will launch a map showing you all the options in your local vicinity. You can then filter the options by best match based on the previous commutes and Google data, distance with the closest options ranked first, or price ranking the lowest cost options first. Each category filter will deviate slightly, but you have approximately the same functions. For example, under food, after the main filter, you can choose whether to only show the restaurants that are currently open for business at the current time, the best rated restaurants ranked in order of popularity, and filter by only drive-through restaurants if you don't intend to leave your vehicle. The final section, called More, shows you additional important options for accessibility, restroom availability, customer parking, and even whether the location has an EV charging station. Toggling on any of these options will further narrow the options on the map, excluding any that don't match your criteria. Once you're happy with the filters and choices, all you need to do is tap on the listed business. You're now presented with more details and options for that business. To save the location, simply search for it once and then tap Save. After that, if the business has a phone number, the call icon will launch your phone app if you want to call the business. Share enables you to quickly share that listing across any compatible apps in your phone with contacts and services on your device, such as Gmail or Facebook. Under the More icon, you'll have further options including a direct link to any available website for the business, the ability to edit the listing to add new pictures or change details for other users. One interesting feature found here is the ability to set the business or location as the start point of a commute. Now, when you subsequently search for another location or business and select it, the route will use your new start point and not your current location to generate a route. Tapping on Leave Later will open a graphical interface showing you the estimated travel times by time of day, enabling you to choose a less busy time. Once you've selected a time, you can tap on Save, and that route and start time will be saved to the app, available for review, editing and deletion by swiping up on the main homepage. While functionally it might seem a little strange, there are some minor use cases where starting your commute away from your current location will be useful. For instance, some commercial areas or new residential areas might not be mapped correctly in Waze yet. Setting your start point at the nearest available road in the app gives you the capacity to plan ahead effectively. The final option is Show on Map, which will launch the map interface with a pin and dialog. Here, tapping on Send launches a submenu to share the location across compatible apps. Tapping Routes will launch the start of the navigation. Tapping Leave Later will launch the same interface discussed earlier, enabling you to save your planned journey for the future. If you wait on this screen, the Go Now will gradually count down and automatically launch the navigation. Any planned drives will be saved and accessible via the main menu on the top left. You can tap on any listed saved journey to launch that planned drive immediately. Once you've chosen your destination and intend to leave immediately rather than save the route, tap on View Routes. As mentioned earlier, you'll be presented with Leave Later and Go Now, with the trip automatically launching if you don't touch the app. If you tap anywhere on the screen during countdown, you'll stop the auto launch feature. Tapping on Go Now or letting the countdown complete will launch the navigation. The main parts of the interface are the next instruction at the top, followed by the next manoeuvre required for your journey. This can be useful for making sure you're able to get into the right lane in advance of any quick changes in direction. Below that, you can find the Assistant button, which launches the Google Assistant if you've turned on the function in the settings. This will quickly enable you to interact with some limited assistant functions that won't impede your ability to drive, including choosing and controlling your music or audio playback. The button below that is the shortcut to launch your connected music app, As covered off later, you can set this up in your preferences in the settings menu. The default icon for your current location is the blue arrow with your planned route marked out in purple with arrows showing your next manoeuvre with the street name when available. Plus, you'll see the name of the street you're currently on below that. To the bottom left of the screen is your current speed. To the bottom right is the new incident reporting function, which I'll cover off in more detail later in this video. At the very bottom, you'll find the estimated time of arrival with the estimated journey time and distance below that. To the left is the magnifying glass that enables you to search for more listings or enter an address, or enable you to override the current navigation or add an additional stop on your current journey. I'll cover that more in the next section of the video. Next to the estimated time of arrival is a speaker icon that gives you quick access to the sound options, which I'll cover off in detail later. However, it's worth noting that you can quickly choose whether you want Waze to turn off audible turn-by-turn directions, only alert you to major manoeuvres, or supply detailed audible instructions. Tapping the arrow will launch the submenu. Below that is the linear overview of the planned journey with your destination and any stops listed. Below that, routes will launch a list of alternate routes that you can take to your destination, with other routes and details of the distance, plus details of any potential incidents along the way. The default view is the list view, but to the right of that is the option to view the alternate routes visually. Each option has its own tab and highlights different options in different colours for ease of reference. Share Drive enables you to share your journey with contacts across compatible apps on your phone. And finally, Overview gives you a 2D overview of the entire journey for quick reference. After starting the navigation to your chosen destination, you can quickly add additional stops along your journey easily. Tap the magnifying glass icon next to the estimated time of arrival. Now, just as if you were planning a trip outlined in the previous chapter of this video, you can enter the address, search for a business listing, use one of the shortcuts, or pick a recent destination. A dialog will launch. Instead of tapping Start New Drive, tap Add Stop instead, and the new location will be added as a waypoint on your previously started journey. Another way to add a stop is during a current journey, swipe up from the bottom of the app. Underneath the linear route preview is Add a Stop. You can then search for a new location or business, or choose from a shortcut. To preview the total journey, including the new waypoint, use 2 fingers to zoom out and tap Overview. You'll then be presented with a 2D overview of your journey for you to review and verify the planned drive is correct. Tap Recenter to return to your current location. Unfortunately, you can only add 1 stop on a given journey, unlike Google Maps. To navigate to the various settings menus, tap the 3-line hamburger menu at the top left on the main page. The first category of this menu is General Settings. Here you can choose your default language and preferred units for measurement. Trip suggestions are automated information updates about your regular and upcoming drives. The idea is that the app will send you updates and notifications about planned drives you've saved in the future, calendar events from your connected accounts, and suggestions for your driving routines as it learns more over time, and navigation history. The ultimate aim is to streamline your journeys and reduce your commute times. Get Traffic Updates will send you specific information about road closures and traffic delays connected to your trip suggestions. The last 4 sections are pretty self-explanatory. Refresh Map of Area forces Waze to download the latest data for your immediate area, including community updates submitted by other users. Ads Personalization is the permission to enable Waze to read certain user data to serve more targeted ads to you on your journey. Prevent Auto Lock stops your phone from going to sleep while you're navigating, and Keep Waze on Top will keep the app visible and running even if you take a phone call to stop the phone app from obscuring your navigation. Under Map Display, you can choose whether the app uses a dark mode, replacing the user interface with a dark palette to reduce glare at night. You can also force it on or off, enable it only at nighttime, or have Waze follow your system settings for your phone if you have a schedule set up already. Map View enables you to toggle between the 3D display or a 2D map, or let Waze choose depending on the screen you're on. Keep Map North Up forces the map to be locked in position with the top always oriented north. This may be more useful for older drivers who traditionally use paper maps. Auto Zoom automatically controls the map resolution in the Waze application, adjusting the amount of map information on the screen. Toggling this option off will enable you to manually control how far you are zoomed into a map, regardless of the part of the journey. Type enables you to toggle between a standard Waze map or a map that shows a colour scheme that identifies different street types. The second option is useful for community members who spend a lot of time contributing with changes and updates to the maps for other users. Car icon is a cosmetic function that enables you to choose your current position icon and what it looks like. The choices range from different real vehicle types to fantasy options such as a paper plane. Reports gives you the ability to tailor your map to display different types of incidents that are important to you. By default, all are shown, such as speed cameras, traffic density, and bad weather alerts. You can use this screen to go through and make changes to the types of information you see. Show Wazers is a toggle to show or hide other Waze users represented by little avatars on your map. Show Traffic will overlay roads and streets onto your map with colour-coded animations to show you how busy a given route is in terms of traffic. Red lines represent heavy traffic, including jams. Yellow represents more moderate traffic. Speedometer will toggle on or off a live update of your speed as an overlay on your map for additional reference while driving. Finally, Quick Access will toggle the map controls to be displayed persistently or only visible when you tap the screen. Under the voice and sound settings, the first option you'll be presented with is the ability to have turn-by-turn directions toggled on or off, or only have alerts as discussed earlier in this video. Beneath that is the ability to choose alternate voice options for turn-by-turn directions. I've covered this extensively in my previous videos, and the Waze team updates the options regularly, with a lot of celebrity and comedy options available. Some are a little disappointing as they don't have enough audio to entertain you through an entire drive, but you'll find some good options if you search long enough. Under voice commands is where you can enable the AI assistant functions. Being a Google app, this means you're limited to Google Assistant, but it's by far and away the best assistant anyway. Now you can simply talk to Waze to set destinations, ask for an ETA, or change the audio you're listening to.
You'll arrive at 10:02 a.m.
For voice typing, you can choose your preferred language to interact with the app, or simply leave the setting as the default language for your geographical location. The sound section includes some useful options which you'll want to experiment with. The first is the volume for turn-by-turn instructions. I've often found that I've had to adjust the volume to better match the audio levels from other sources such as music or podcast, so it's neither too loud or too quiet. If you prefer the audio option from your compatible entertainment system not to be interrupted when connected via Bluetooth, you can toggle on the option to have Waze use your phone speaker instead. The penultimate option in this section enables you to mute Waze entirely if you're taking a hands-free call and don't want to be interrupted. And then the final option is a simple toggle to enable you to have a persistent icon for your preferred music app as an overlay on the home screen for ease of access. The battery saver options are designed to help you conserve your remaining battery as required. The function will dim the screen when your battery is low and there are no upcoming turns. To return to full brightness, you simply tap the screen. The options are to have the option turned on permanently for your current trip, or you can have battery saver toggled off, or you can set to have it ask when your remaining battery capacity drops below a certain level or automatically turn on. You can also choose whether you'd like to use the feature even when your phone is charging, which may be useful for those who want to charge their phone faster. Under the navigation section is where you'll find the option to instruct Waze not to use routes where there are tolls required. However, if you have passes for toll or HOV routes on your regular commute, you can add them here to Waze, and the app will specifically use those routes as part of your navigation. All you have to do is search for the corresponding pass you have, which is limited to the Waze database. Once added, any future navigation will endeavour to utilise the passes. Other options include the fact you can instruct Waze to avoid ferries and freeways, highways or motorways depending on your location. You can also ask Waze to avoid unpaved roads and tracks such as logging roads, which is ideal if you live in a rural area. Perhaps the best option is to avoid difficult intersections. These would include routes where during busy periods joining heavy traffic in a rush hour would be prohibitive and add unnecessary delays to your journey. The final section here is the ability to add details about your mode of transport. The reason for the definition is that each different mode of transport can benefit from different routes. For instance, making your vehicle a taxi will prioritise special roads such as bus lanes, shortcuts and parking spaces, providing the driver has the necessary permits. For motorcyclists, in the event of traffic jams, cars might be given a new route, while motorcycles can drive between or along traffic jams where it's legal to do so. Furthermore, there are a number of signs that have specific impact on motorcyclists that may streamline a drive or impose restrictions on the route. Overall, the idea is that the route will be optimised for each vehicle type. The vehicle details section adds some additional options on top of what can be found in the navigation section. Enabling EV features will display EV charging stations along the route on the map. Plus, you can add specific plug type and preferred charging networks for your vehicle to further filter options along your journey to avoid unnecessary detours and stops at the wrong type of charger. The next option is to choose the preferred gas or petrol type depending on where you live and the availability of premium fuel or diesel. Again, this will filter out gas and petrol stations to match your requirements. The final section for toll and HOV passes is identical to the previous chapter mentioned in this video. Reports gives you the ability to tailor the types of updates you'll receive on the map. By default, they're all turned on, but if you want to, you're able to reduce them by toggling them on and off under each category. You can also potentially reduce the latency in updates while you drive. Under Area, you can now limit how far away you want the app to request information from the server. The default option is to receive all updates. However, you can also stipulate updates only along your pre-designated route, or you can set the maximum distance from your location from 5 to 200 kilometers. The upside is that the more restrictive the limit is, the less time and data is required to receive the information, providing faster, immediate updates. However, the flip side is that Waze won't be able to make as informed decisions on your journey until the limit is met. This means potentially missing opportunities for faster alternate routes or not giving you enough warning to avoid potential delays due to traffic changes in volume. The final section is the ability to toggle the speedometer on and off on the map. If you do have it turned on, you can specify if you want the speedometer to always be visible or only when you're exceeding the posted speed limit. One benefit to having it only show while speeding is that it might catch your eye more easily and help you adjust your speed. You can also set the threshold that you want to see the speedometer, and Waze gives you pretty exhaustive options. Depending on your preference, you can set it to alert you to your speed if you're over a certain kph or over a certain percentage of the speed limit. The final option in this section is the ability to have Waze alert you with a warning when you're speeding for extra safety. In the gas stations section of the options menu, you can find an alternative way to set your preferred gas type as covered earlier in the video. However, here you can also set the preferred brand of gas or petrol station from the available database. It's worth noting here that I've noticed some companies are not listed, which suggests that not all petroleum companies have partnered with Waze. For instance, in my neighbourhood, the nearest gas station in Waze is not actually the nearest gas station in real life. This fact will impact the next level of filters you can adjust, where you can set whether the price, distance or brand dictates your searches for a gas station in Waze. In addition, Waze provides a toggle feature that enables users to request the most recent gas price information in their immediate vicinity. This data is obtained from their commercial partner, GasBuddy, which leverages crowdsourced information to regularly update its database. Audio player is the section where you can select the default audio player. The list includes YouTube Music and Spotify, but also dedicated audiobook apps like Audible. You also have the option to show a persistent icon on the map interface, as described earlier in this video. Plus, there is an option to have your track information be displayed for convenience. Under notifications, you can set the types of notifications that you get via pushes to your phone or via email. The options for different types of communication are self-explanatory, but cover some important updates such as traffic delays and updates to your upcoming trips. Planned drives is the section for controlling the settings for journeys you're planning ahead of time, either manually created in Waze or being pulled from your connected calendar. For both instances, you can use the time to leave reminder to set whether you'll get a notification an hour and a half before it's time to leave, and then another notification 10 minutes before it's time to leave. Or you can simply set it to send a notification 10 minutes before your start time. The final option is simply to have no notifications. Below that, you can get events from your connected calendar. On your first use, you'll be prompted to run through the process to add your preferred calendar, such as Google Calendar. Then you can use your calendars to select the various calendars you have connected to your phone, including any third-party calendars you're subscribed to. Finally, you can find a quick way to delete any saved addresses and planned drives in your app at the bottom of the screen under Advanced. The very final section of the settings that I cover off in this video before talking about the new features is reminders, and the time to leave reminders covered previously in this video. You can also set a child reminder to warn you to check your back seat for any infants. This might sound like a wild idea, but a lot of modern cars actually have this included as a feature now, and addresses part of the market where sleep-deprived parents might have a lapse in concentration. You can even create your own custom message to help with the reminder. Pick a Sidekick is the updated section within the app that is devoted to accessing the turn-by-turn voice and visual options more easily. Previously, it had been a little difficult to find the section to choose funny voices for your navigation and cosmetic visual updates to make the experience of using Waze more fun. Now the updates are grouped together in a much more user-friendly interface to quickly choose your new voice, car icon and avatar for other users to see on the road. Next section of the video is dedicated to major updates introduced in June 2024. Waze has made it much easier to report traffic incidents like construction, crashes and lane closures. The larger reporting icons allow you to quickly share updates with other drivers and then confirm. These include nearby construction delays, lane closures, objects on the road and police presence. Now when you're driving to a place, Maps' new destination guidance will automatically highlight the building on the map and where possible the entrance as you approach the destination, in addition to showing you nearby parking lots. Some cities around the world are adding cameras to enforce things like speeding limits or carpool lanes. These alerts are added by Waze community members who use the combination of real-world road information and publicly available data from local authorities to update the map. For example, you'll now see an alert if you're approaching a camera that snaps pictures of things like speeding, running a red light, or using the wrong lane, like bus or HOV, or carpool lanes, not wearing a seatbelt or using your phone while driving. Waze's new traffic events feature enables you to see events like parades, concerts, and sporting events marked on the map. If you've recently driven through a special event area or have places saved near the area in Waze, you'll get a notification once the event has started. Waze will show you helpful details like the cause of the event, whether there are road closures and real-time traffic conditions. Also, you'll be able to easily share these details with friends or family so they can be more prepared for their own ride. Thank you for watching, and as always it would be great if you were to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content on personal technology and the connected home.